Hello and welcome to the instructions for BCOS students, just for getting your final exam set up and running. So at the very end of the course, you're going to make it to this area, and I want to go over just the steps for you so that you know exactly what's going to happen. I want you to have a good experience, and we have moved our exams to Examity. So what that means is that you're going to be able to write your exam at any time, anywhere online, which is awesome. If you're like me, you can probably type a lot faster than you can write. And this used to be a written exam in person that you do on paper. And now instead you'll be able to type it out, which is great for all of the written sections of the test. So what you will see right off the bat, there's a difference between a BCOS student and an HCOS student. So if you are a HCOS student watching this and you're full-time enrolled with us, there's a different set of instructions and you can email me. But if you are a BCOS student and you are cross-enrolled and you have a different school of record, then this video is for you. So I want to start off with the final exam template. This is how your exam is going to be laid out. Obviously, I'm sure you want to know about that. So there are 3 parts, and when you're doing the final exam, these 3 parts are going to be split into 3 pages of questions. So once you finish all of them on one page, you can go to the next page, and so on and so forth. So in part 1, you're going to be dealt vocab questions. And for each of the vocab questions, it's going to give you 2 different vocabs. You get to choose one, maybe the one that you know better, and you have to write a definition for it, give an example, talk about its function, so on and so forth. So there's going to be a number of questions for that. And then at the very end of that section, there's also an APA citation question where you're going to need to do an APA citation. That's all in page 1. On page 2, we move on to visual content. And so you are going to be randomly given a diagram from the course content, and you're going to have to provide a detailed explanation of what it is. You can define what may be in the diagram or the picture. You can give examples about what it's talking about, etc., etc. So you're going to be given some sort of piece of visual content for that. There's going to be 5 questions. Each one is worth 3 marks for a total of 15 marks on page 2. On page 3, you are required to answer long answer questions, and there is a written response for each one. And there are 6 questions, actually. 5 questions. The first 5, there's one from each chapter. So one from chapter 1 on taxonomy, one from chapter 2 on evolutionary processes, etc., etc. And the very last question is an overarching question for a course overview. Okay, so this one's out of 18 marks. So this whole thing should be out of, I think that's 53, not 52. 53. So that is how your final exam will take, or that's how it will look. Now, if you want to find out how to sign up for it, you're going to need to go through the BCOS Examity Student Guide. And what will happen is you are going to actually have someone live watching you write your final exam. So that's what Examity does. It enables us as an online school to have people supervise your final exam at any time, anywhere, because I just simply can't do that. So you have to create your profile. There's steps for how to do that. You will notice that there's some technical requirements for this. You are going to need Google Chrome to be able to do your final exam, and you're going to have to disable your pop-up blocker for that. Other than that, you're going to need a webcam and a microphone, external speakers, and when you log on to Examity, there's a point at the very end where it actually does a diagnostic on your computer to let you know if your computer will work. So if your laptop or desktop does not work, you may need to borrow someone else's for this. You're then going to need to create a little profile for yourself, just like you have set up in Moodle. And once it's been created, then you're going to be able to log in and see your exams. Now, if I scroll down a bit farther, if you're enrolled in multiple courses through our online school, you may have more, but ultimately I'm thinking that you're just going to have the life sciences exam sitting there waiting for you. And you're going to be able to schedule it. I believe you need to give them at least a 24-hour notice. So you'll be able to go in and schedule that as soon as this goes live, once you've set up your profile and everything like that. When you actually are taking your exam, you're going to need to have an empty room, an empty workspace, and you're going to need to have Examity through Google Chrome. And you're going to be able to connect to a proctor, and there's going to be someone live that's going to meet you. So when they meet you, they're going to want to see your work area. They're going to want to see that you don't have anything set up anywhere in your, in your vicinity, in your where you're working. And they're going to ask who you are. So you do need to provide a little piece of ID at this one point, because I know who you are, but they're not going to know who you are. So they need to know that you're the right person taking the exams. They're going to need photo ID. If you have a driver's license already, that's easy, or some sort of passport, or perhaps like a student card or something like that. There's a systems check. You're going to make sure that you're powered in so that you don't lose power during everything. And I'm pretty sure that's it. Basically, you'll be going in, you'll be writing, and then you're good to go. Everything's online. You don't need to print anything off or do anything like that, which is really nice. And what I've done is I've made it so that you cannot go into an Examity and start booking your final exam until you've completed your biological processes assignment. So what that means, if you go back up to chapter 5, you have to complete the assignment for this chapter before you can do your final exam. I don't want you rushing ahead. But once you've completed that assignment, that means all you have left is the last chapter test and then the inquiry project. So at this point, if you want to start looking at setting up your Examity final exam, that's fine with me. However, the inquiry project may take a little while, so you want to make sure that you give yourself enough time to do that. You want to write your final exam after you've completed everything in the course. That's very, very important. You cannot have anything left in the course whatsoever. I want everything to be done. So once that all happens and you sign into Examity, everything gets set up, here is going to be your final exam. So if you click on it, what it's going to show is that you need to have the quiz password. And so you're going to be given the quiz password when you meet your proctor online. So as soon as that happens, you can hit attempt quiz now. Let's see if it works. I'm not going to start my attempt, although let's see, does it ask me for my password? I'm logged in. No. So what it'll do is you will need to do that. I think because I'm signed in as myself, I don't need to put in a password, but you will need to have the password to enter into the exam and write it, and you will have a 2-hour time limit. So that is it. That is how you get into your final exam and finish the course. And I'm excited to see you guys finish. I know that once you get to the finish line, it's a very exciting thing, and I get to congratulate you as you hit that landmark. So hopefully you guys find this really helpful, and you can get yourself set up and ready for the final exam really soon. Take care, and good luck in your studying. See you at the finish line.